Mr. Su helped out at third uncle's repair shop. Third uncle loves to kill him. Do a job, grind. He likes to walk around. A mustache with a fork. Shaggy hair. Danling is a small bread driver. When you see him, you always have to call him Brother Shu. Then pass a cigarette. There's a word of nagging with that. It is said that Ruyang mining is about to open. Danling big channel. I guess you can't cut the ribbon when it opens. Smile without saying a word. This is what a bunch of kids on the street earn. The fight said that brother loves to be in charge. The children are not afraid of him. Open your mouth and ask who you are. How old are you? This mouth confused Brother Shu. After throwing it away for a few seconds, Brother Shu raised his hand to teach these bastards a lesson. Children ran away. Zhuang every time after commuting from the mine. I will take Brother Shu on the way. Old mother is burning paper money under the tree in front of the house again. Brother Shu can arrive. What are you doing? Mother said that last night I dreamed of your father and your brother. Asked me for money. The son's factory has taken up our land. You don't talk about it. After dark. Brother Shu stood in a daze under the tree. It takes looking at the eyes. In a trance. He seemed to have seen his father burning a fire in the field. Trees always dream of their father wearing a black coat, looking for the big brother of the tree everywhere. Strike hard in 1986. Big brother was arrested by the police station as a hooligan. His father hung him from a tree and beat him. As soon as he missed, he was strangled to death. Then my father went too. The life of this family is getting harder and harder every day. The next day when Su is burning sweat, accidentally burned his eyes with sparks. Third brother scolded him, what else can you do? Nothing to do all day. Then drop $1,000 and a sentence. You can figure out the rest. In the afternoon, the third uncle also came. Uncle will be back in 2 days. Go to work. But the third uncle plans to find someone else to replace him. The smile on my uncle's face slowly disappeared. Third uncle is leaving, the key to the repair shop. $1,000 left and left. At this time, the little nurse wants to cover Brother Shu with gauze. Brother Shu played a hooligan. Hold the little nurse's hand and don't let it go. It looks like I won't let you go. After the eyes were cured, he said he went to Zhuang's house to drink and chat. Every time I see Zhuang, when you say it, you will think of your big brother. Big brother was about the same age as Zhuang when he left. He's 20 years old. Yuyang mining is about to open. Villagers' land and houses will also be expropriated. Village chief was heartbroken by this. Loudspeakers roll brochures every day. Just got back to town. I met Gao Peng, a buddy who has played since childhood. Gao Peng's wedding is approaching. Get the book to help at the wedding. A few children are drinking in a small restaurant. Pete dragged the tree into ours who has developed, wearing a shiny leather jacket with a big gold chain. Although one bite is a tree brother, he despised trees from the bottom of his heart. He said let the tree just show him the door. There is a tree pavilion on the wine table. They seem to have someone to drink and have fun with. Uncle lowered his head and smoked a cigarette without speaking. This is the sound of a crash suddenly coming from outside. The road is icy in winter. Zhuang scratched his car for 2 weeks after falling. 2 weeks ago, his brother-in-law was the village chief. Usually, in the village they walk sideways. Without saying a word, go up and kick twice first. Let Zhuang pay 3,000 yuan to finish it. Wang has always been very good to Brother Shu. Brother Shu wants to help him. Just round it up and say let the second uncle give him face. 2 pigs pushed him aside. What's the matter with you? Which onion are you? Finally, with Gao Peng's intervention, to settle the matter, Brother Shu is smoking a cigarette, swinging around and getting into the bun again. There's a girl in the back. Xiaomei. He's deaf, although she covered her face. But there is a little handsome between the eyes. Brother Shu looked back at him for a long time. I know Xiaomei noticed him. He turned his head and sighed deeply. Who can let Brother Shu send Xiaomei into the city with him? The tree push said that something happened and got off the bus. After the car drives away, he put his head down and took a swig of his cigarette. Then staggered and caught up. Said I was in town on something. 3 Stun joked. Why are you so unstable? After arriving at the county, Brother Shu saw Xiaomei enter a blind massage parlor. Brother Shu likes him. Blind date Gao Peng. Let his mother help lead the line. To make myself look elegant, Hai made a special trip with a pair of glasses. The third brother drove him to the door of the massage parlor, gave him a few $100s. 2 young people stare at each other. Scene is slightly awkward. Brother Shu is shy and doesn't know sign language. Little sister doesn't understand what he's saying at all. I just want the blind date to end badly. Brother Shu's wish has also come to nothing. But he wants face. Kneel and say think about it. It's a pity that I can't speak. Yao Feng's mother said that if the little sister could talk, he can see you. Look at yourself. Look at your home again. Brother Shu understands in his heart. That's not nice. But it's the truth. Peak wedding day. Brother Shu was busy helping him. Aussie Chen Yipan also drives a car. The wind and light are back. He opened a mathematical Olympiad training course in the provincial capital. Even the name was changed to Chen Yixi. Now it's out of the picture. Circle of friends has risen one level. I can't even get through to the phone. Say something on the wine table and ask for success. It took half a day to say whether you want anyone or not. Sincerity is hard to part with. Ask him bluntly what you can do at my place. As the saying goes, wine is strong and courageous. After 2 glasses of wine, the wine glass carried by Brother Shu was drawn to the table of Erzu. Brother Shu got the land to occupy our house. Without saying hello. Erzu doesn't talk nonsense with him. Baiju is going to do it with him. Tree really can't drink 2 tables of wine. Take the opportunity to rage. Are you not giving your brother face? Book has the courage to say. You're acting awesome because your brother-in-law is the village chief, right? 2 pigs were instantly angry, yelling for the tree to confess to him. Hey, kneel down for me. Kneel down for me. It was hard to pull him away. Brother Shu was also dragged into the gift. The 2 pigs are persistent. After chasing him into the house, he had to make the tree kneel for him. Facing the aggressive 2 pigs, Brother Shu finally compromised. Kneel on the ground and admit your mistake. The 2 pigs left contentedly. Brother Shu is paralyzed. Like a broken spine. It's like being hollowed out. He's drinking at night. He held Yixin Chan's hand tightly and said in the repair shop. It's boring. It's pointless to live. His eyes were full of melancholy. Occasionally a drop will slip quietly. When no one is around or when you're drunk. I decided to go to Changchun to find Yixin Chan. Ask him to help arrange a job. Yixin Chan arranged for him to do chores in the training class. I can't sleep at night. He ran into the classroom. Look like Yixin Chan. Right hand draw of the blackboard. A gust of wind blows. He seemed to see his deceased father looking at him. Sky in Changchun is foggy. At the intersection of Renmin Street and the Free Continent. Brother Su slumped in the car and texted Xiaomei. You know what? Moment we met. Most beautiful moment in the world. Even if you give me a village chief. I didn't reply to him as a little sister. Oh, Mr. Tree laughed from ear to ear. This is Yixin Chan. Walked out with the girl. He told Brother Rat. Don't tell my wife when you go back. But in fact, he is old. Grandma already knew. I broke my face with him that night. Couple made a scene in front of Brother Rat. People are weird sometimes. Husband and wife are in love when life is hard. Having money turns against each other. In the bleak and cold night. Coma hair growth and Miss Xiaomei. Acquaintance is a year. Meeting is a long time. You are like that tobacco and alcohol. Make me smoke. Wine never leaves your mouth. Little sister replied. Quit smoking and drinking. Making friends. The next day, Brother Shu left Changchun and went back to his hometown by car. After a while, Brother Shu asked Xiaomei to meet. Tujie never leaves his hand. The little sister also ordered one after learning from him. Brother Shu pinched it. It is not good for girls to smoke. Little sister smiled. In fact, he likes the feeling of being cared for. Tujie asked him straight to the point. Tell your parents we should get married. Yimeng wrote that marriage is my own business. I talk to my parents first. Let others decide your destiny. Isn't that sad? Brother Shu said to leave your fate to me. This simple and silly promise instantly captured Xiaomei's heart. So this good thing is so heavy. Brother Shu's spring is here. Brother Shu hopes to use the crown on his wedding day. The car marries Xiaomei home. He asked his 3rd brother to ask his boss to borrow a car. The 3rd brother has difficulty. Brother Su held Xiaomei's hand tightly. The car of life is going to Xingfuli. Brother Tree, Xiaomei is noisy. I've never been so happy in my life. Tomorrow is the wedding date. Thousands of instructions. Just the wedding car. Let the 3rd brother know matter what. Be sure to help him borrow the crown car. As a result, the 3rd brother only drove him back one night. Besot. 3rd brother yelled that it would be nice to lend you a car. I've been doing it for half my life. Say someone who doesn't want to get married and is a loser. Son, give Xiaomei a beautiful wedding. Everyone doesn't take him seriously, including their own brothers. Brother Book is angry, cursing and complaining. 3rd brother scolded him unceremoniously. The 2 brothers just started fighting. 3rd brother is young and strong. Press Brother Shu on the ground and bake a meal of porridge. Overturn the fire. Ignited Li Peng. For a moment, the fire soared into the sky. Catch a mess. Neighbors are really desperately trying to save their lives. Brother Shu is lying on the ground. Trance. He seemed to see his father burning a fire in the field again. Father has been dead for so many years. I've been following him around. He rushed up and pinned his father in the snow. Want to strangle him. In the dark. He seemed to have climbed the tree at the head of the village. He saw his brother and sister-in-law. Zhang is walking hand in hand on the way home. Others dress up in style. This time I came back specially to attend the tree's wedding, just on the big brother's neck. With deep tears. After returning home, my brother and sister-in-law danced. Humble and angry, very lively. But the soul of the tree has gone out of the body. He was delirious. Blurred eyes. Today is his big day. But his expression was numb. Look sluggish. Mountain Stool said, "Why is your personality so unstable?" And they dressed him. Forcibly pulled him out of the house. When picking up the bride, he carried Xiaomei and ran away. I can't even tell the difference between southeast and northwest. During worship, Brother Shu's eyes are empty. He seemed to see the majestic father again. When getting married, Juge is like a walking dead, being pushed around. Soul seems to be outside his body. I can only hear my own heavy breathing. I was half asleep when I entered the bridal chamber. In the end, Xiaomei took the initiative to paste it. He saw the scene of his father strangling his eldest brother again. Painful and helpless. The day after marriage, the family is having breakfast. The sound of an ambulance came from outside the house. Uncle shook all over when he heard it. He rushed out into the street and wandered around, naughty and scary everywhere. He told the three dummies. There was an accident at the mine. Something happened to Xiao Zhuang. Not far. The TV reporter is interviewing the rescued absentee, but they were all mute and afraid to speak. Brother Su seemed to see that Xiao Zhuang was being rescued. Get off the car. Smile at him. Then he found the second uncle again. Tell him something is going to happen in 2 days. The Jade Emperor wants to accept him. There's something dirty on him. Night, he touched the village committee again. Tell everyone that the water will be cut off on the 21st. He said it was a manifestation of the Supreme Lord. Make everyone laugh. As a result, the water was really cut off on the 21st. Xiaomei has been living unhappily since marriage. There is a water outage at home. His mood is even worse. I packed my things and went back to my mother's house. If the tree says no water, no water. The villagers thought he was a masterstroke. Even the children know him. People were also a little in awe of him. Just a few days after marriage, the beast begins to guard the empty room alone. In his half-closed eyes, as if there is an endless flow of sadness, eldest brother and sister-in-law appeared in front of him again. I actually quickly brought my daughter-in-law back. With the full cooperation of the government and enterprises, the villagers began to move to the mountains one after another. Bring the old mother to the city. Moved into Sun New City. The old mother no longer cares about the tree. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel sad. The whole village was evacuated. Tree is left alone. He seemed to see Xiaomei lying on the bed. He'll be back in a few days. In the evening, the village chief led the Erzu to visit the tree. I offered to send him the relocation fee. Even, he doesn't need to pay back the 3,000 yuan the tree borrowed before. The tree has never been treated like this since it was a child. It turns out that they have something to ask for. Su has been having a hard time recently. He invited Brother Shu to help with the calculation. Brother Shu said for a while that he wanted to help him eliminate the disaster. The two pigs fell to their knees after a plop. He kowtows like mashing garlic. Horrified expressions all over his face. Brother Shu asked him to shut his throat, and he nodded. Really the next day, Su brought the secretary of Ruyang Mining over. Mine is about to open. They want to ask Mr. Tree to count an auspicious day. Several people nodded and bowed to Mr. Shu respectfully. Mr. Tree stretched out his hand and pinched it. Then tell the secretary solemnly. Open on time at 8 o'clock on December 18th. After listening, the secretary handed over a large red envelope. On opening day, Ruyang Mining sent a special car to pick up Mr. Su. Mr. Su's suit and shoes, full of spring breeze. In the midst of the gongs and drums, Mr. Ju completed the ribbon-cutting ceremony, just as Sanjiazi had predicted. Family of Mandarin ducks in the wilderness hooks up with him. Imagine the future. Like brothers. Just Mr. Tree. Mouth full of flying flowers. And at this time, Mr. Tree sitting in the tree. It's just funny. No one knew what he was laughing at. When the snowflakes fall again, there's only dead silence. Mr. Su is like a ghost, as if the whole world had abandoned him. Those smoked hands have nowhere to go. He's wandering around. He crouched in the field with his head bowed in a daze. Suddenly the villagers came over. Hail him forward, one after another, unto the bloody Ruyang. The tree at the head of the village was dyed blood red, in chains, wither and wither. The next day, the sun came out, but it's not warm at all. The person who stabbed has eye pain. Tree bare. Nothing. It seems to be waiting for the spring of next year. A red electric tricycle drove into the village. Only the driver. Mr. Tree is standing under the tree. I watched my little sister get out of the car. He has a big belly. Come slowly with a smile. Tree was overjoyed. Xiaomei grabbed his hand. Put it on your stomach. Tree said to Xiaomei, let's move to a new house. Bring the baby to the new house. Little sister actually spoke, let's go, let's go. Hello, Mr. Tree is a work released by director Han Ye in 2011. This may be the middle, China's most ambitious surrealist film. Next, Brother Le, the film will be interpreted from two angles. One is to analyze the tree from the background of the times. The intention represented by the gentleman. The second is from the individual and within. To dissect the inner world of the character. So let me just say a few words about number one. Mr. Xu represents an era, pioneers of thought. In the face of the exclusion of the times, Douyin believes there are only three outcomes. One is to be obliterated like the brother of the tree. Second is to be like Mr. Tree, although not obliterated, but always suppress myself. Third is to lose yourself. Integrate into them, finally become them. There's no question. These are tragedies. It's just that people often mistakenly think. And the last one is, everybody's happy. In fact, let's focus on the second point, from an individual perspective. The movie starts. The book was asked by a group of children who you are. I got the book done. This movie has always been about, this proposition unfolds. The childhood tree worships its fashion-forward brother. The wedding, my brother and sister-in-law sang a song. A fire in the winter, my brother is like a fire. Tree that illuminates childhood. But he was exhausted by his father. For an unspeakable crime, and shame puts out the fire. Sting is in the tree. Left an indelible mark on my heart. That freedom-loving nature is suppressed. He has to pretend to be normal. Because once exposed, he might be my brother. Brother's end. This deep childhood insecurity causes the tree's inferiority and cowardice, and the death of my father. Take a bold guess. Most likely killed by a tree. And if you look at it a little bit, you'll notice. There's a lot of trees in the movie. The action of lifting the hair, and he has to say a few words to anyone he sees. Look like you're doing both. It's all an embarrassment to pretend to be dashing. These uncoordinated body movements fully demonstrate that. He has been hiding his inner inferiority and cowardice. So when the movie starts, Uncle is already a person with a very weak sense of existence. His only fig leaf. It's a living wage job. At least it shows that he is a normal person. He has social status, although extremely humble, but better than nothing. With the loss of work, last fig leaf was torn away. At this moment, he suddenly molested the young nurse. This is a classic example of spiritual victory. I can't bully others. Can't I bully you? Although everyone calls him Shrug. But in fact, he didn't exist at all. After the event, the leaves are well aware of this. He is lost at this moment. Lost and helpless. What he wants most is someone he can rely on. To resist the malice of the world. I met the right person at the right time. Count but can't express. Sometimes love can make you fight. But sometimes love can be embarrassing. In the wedding kneeling incident, self-hypnotic dignity of the book is also stepped on. So much so that he said that it's pointless to live. Book wants to resist. I want my dignity back. Find the meaning of life. So he went to Changchun, trying to get along with Yixin Chan. The same bright life. Learned that decency there. Hidden beneath is the dirty time. He flinched again. Yes, he is afraid. He was afraid of becoming like that. But he doesn't know what he wants to become. What kind of person? He's wandering around the world. I've always wanted to find my place. No matter how he looked. I can't seem to be like the spring breeze like others. He seems too natural is out of place in this world. After returning home again, Book realizes the importance of Xiaomei. It was the last straw that saved him. Luckily he caught. But it was deeply torn apart again. Third brother's attitude reminded him. Even if you marry Xiaomei, he still doesn't exist. Tree completely collapsed. Because he still can't find his place to live. Maybe this world. There is simply no place for him to put down roots. Like how to swing his pair. Wrong hands. Who is he? He's been trying to figure this out. He wants to find his place in the world. Or a place in someone else's heart. After all, everyone who seems normal are going through this process. We were all once Mr. Tree. In maintaining oneself and pretending. Wandering left and right between the mundane. Between metaphor and indulgence. Waver. Against the world. And self-denial. After countless blows. We're getting smarter. But Mr. Tree doesn't seem to be very smart. He doesn't seem to be any smarter. Second half of the movie can be understood as after the wind. The attitude of the villagers has undergone a 180-degree change. Because the tree has finally found its place. A place that people wanted him to be. It can also be understood as a tree fantasy. He finally found himself in a fantasy world. Found a peace. He is forever in the real world. Soil that is nowhere to be found. People laugh at me for being crazy. I laugh at others for not seeing through. So you say he's crazy. Still don't see it. And those of us who seem normal. Although bumps and bumps. But in the end, I still fit into the world. So did we see it? Still don't see it.